All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Blaugrana Planet. Today, Barcelona regained the second position, the second spot in La Liga in a crucial game against Real Sociedad, 2-0. A game that wasn't the most dynamic game, I must say, but it was important, guys. We did our job. Our job was to get back to the second position of La Liga, and it was crucial. Let me tell you, because right now we would be in the Super Cup of Spain. We will be qualified for this cup, and we would be getting the money. Important, and also possibly competing for another title, winning another title. This is, interesting for next season. I think that Barcelona today didn't play the best game, but to me, the best player of today was Rafinha, no doubt. I think Rafinha is plugged in. I think Rafinha knows what he wants. I think Rafinha wants to shine with Football Club Barcelona, and probably just before Lamine Yamal is one of the most dangerous players that Barcelona has, possibly the most dangerous player that Barcelona has at the moment, of course, with the respect of the 16-year-old stellar Lamine Yamal, who is doing some incredible damage, guys, non-stop. This player is incredible. Let me tell you, the shine of Lamine Yamal is insane, and honestly, I can't just wrap my head around the fact that he is 16 years old, Lamine Yamal. It just seems incredible. If we look at the starting lineup, we had Ter Stegen, Cancelo, Íñigo Martínez, Cubarsí, Koundé. There in the defense, Íñigo Martínez coming back into the starting 11. No Araujo tonight. Pedri, Gundogan, Christensen. Pedri coming back after the first starting 11 after his injury. We didn't see a good Gundogan today. I'm sorry. I'm not a hater of Gundogan, but I'm not a fanatic today of Gundogan. I think Gundogan, I don't know if he's tired. I don't know if he lost his motivation. I don't know if Barça wasn't what he was expecting. At the end of the day, guys, it is true. Gundogan played more than 4,000 minutes this season. Is the only midfielder that didn't get injured. And, tonight wasn't his best moment at the end of the day. Pedri, of course, we cannot expect the best from Pedri coming back from his injury. I'm a little worried, guys. I'm a little worried with the injury of our players and the fact that they don't come back to their primes. At least with many players that we saw, and we have examples, for example, Ansu Fati. You know what I mean? But Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, another slow game. Lewandowski, I'm really considering, honestly, I saw when Lewandowski was subbed out, the fact that he was just looking, he was sitting on the bench and looking at the nothing. I'm a little worried about what's going to happen with Lewandowski. Is he going to stay for one more season, Lewandowski? Are we sure we want to keep Lewandowski? Aren't we going to be pressuring Lewandowski to depart? Of course, he has one more year of his contract, but I'm really doubtful, guys. If we keep Lewandowski, he's going to need to play, and he's not really performing, except he scores a hat-trick last game, which doesn't count anything because we already lost La Liga. The truth, guys, and it's good and bad, is that we're depending on a 16-year-old player and on a Brazilian that it's a little bit unstable, let me tell you. So we are depending on Lamine Yamal, who's turning 17 years old in literally about a month. It's a little concerning. It's good, but then it's bad at the same time, because Lamine Yamal is the only real winger that we have. Really, it's the only real winger that we have. If we look at the real team that we have, Rafinha is not a winger, guys. He is playing through the middle. Really, he gets the ball from the side and goes into the middle. Lamine Yamal is the only real winger. We have Ferran Torres, not a winger. You name it. There's no more wingers than Lamine Yamal. In terms of Real Sociedad, we had Ramiro on goal, Pacheco, Lenormand, Elustondo, Aramburu, Merino, Turrientes, Traoré, Oyarzabal, Becker, and Brais Mendez. Becker scored a goal, but it was ruled offside. Of course, the most dangerous are Oyarzabal, Brais Mendez, and Becker didn't have the best game. It was a difficult game, don't get me wrong, because really, if we look at the situation at the table, Real Sociedad was fighting for a Europa League position, to take on Betis' Europa League position. And in fact, they really were targeting for this. And we have a historic, we have a history with Real Sociedad that we are not, we don't play the best games against Real Sociedad. It's unfortunate, right? It's unfortunate. But anyways, the situation is very favorable for Barcelona after this game. Next game will be against Almeria, who is the bottom of the league, the last team in the Liga. And of course, they have already been relegated. We will be playing against them away. We play against Rayo Vallecano at home, and we play another game against Sevilla away. Of course, I'd say an easy game, a medium game, and a little harder game. Okay, those are the last three that we have. Of course, right now we're still we're sitting in the second position, and we depend on ourselves. That's the great thing. After Girona dropped some points against Alaves during this Friday, but they have two difficult games, which are Villarreal and Valencia. Villarreal at home and Valencia away. And believe me, these are tough games for Girona. I'd say that they are pretty much the level of Girona, despite Girona doing a tremendous season this year. And at last, Granada, who is already relegated. But still, Granada is going to play for their courage, for their pride, But it is certain that Girona has a little more difficult schedule ahead than Football Club Barcelona, and this is positive for us because we need the Super Cup, which could bring in I think it's more than 10 million euro, but not also the money. It's the fact that we have possibly one more final against Real Madrid, a possible revenge that we can face against them, and at the end of the day, it's more exposure, and not only it's the money from the tournament itself, but also from the sponsors, and it would have been great to play the Club World Cup too, but we didn't make that. But anyways, hopefully next season we can do it. One more season for Xavi, guys. I'm not so sure about what's gonna happen to Xavi. There was a little skeptical moment with some whistles when the Stade Lluís Companys at Montjuïc, they were chanting a song for Xavi, and there were some whistles from another side of the stadium, which raised my concerns. There's certainly a part of the fan base who are not agreeing or not supporting Xavi, which I think it's a mistake, right? I mean, you can not support Xavi and create uncertainty when the club has not taken a decision in regards of Xavi. Now that we are keeping Xavi one more season, we must go all in, guys. If we stay together, then that's the way to go. That's really the way to go. So we saw the bad thing is that we're dependent on a 16-year-old. Lamine Yamal, not only 16-year-old, but our only winger. I'd say we need another winger and maybe another backup. Gundogan is underperforming, guys. And the fact that we're losing a lot of possessions, guys, I'm a little worried. Why are we losing so many possessions? We need to become as solid as we did in last season. We can't just play the Cruyff way when we don't have killers up front, okay? The Cruyff mentality was, look, I'm going to concede 4 goals, but it's okay because I score 5 goals. All right, perfect. We play this mentality if you want. I think this is what Xavi has been trying to apply. But if you don't have real killers up front, by the way, 38,000 people today at Montjuïc on a Monday night. La Liga is really not doing us a favor, putting our games 2 days in a row on a Monday night, which is very naughty from them. Very naughty. I'm not happy about that at all. And we're losing so many possessions. The good things is that, look, despite depending on a 16-year-old, we made an incredible signing, and it was for free. And of course, Cubarsí, who struggled a little bit today in the first half, but after recomposed himself, 17-year-old, and Rafinha is in a great moment. Therefore, I need a positive outtake from this. The fact that, of course, we need to work on a lot of things, and Xavi needs to develop this team to another level for next season. unless we want to throw away another year, which I hope that we don't. I think that Barcelona can certainly improve in a lot of aspects. And the first aspect is take care of possession. You know, there was a stat saying that Barcelona is always losing possession in most of the games, right? Winning possessions. So we win the possession overall. But you know, it doesn't matter if you win the possession if you're losing so many balls in the midfield and you're conceding so many goals. Possession is not everything. You know, I was talking to my friends the other day, and we were talking about the Guardiolitis that this club has. You know, Guardiolitis. I mean that why are we obsessed in wanting to play like Guardiola did back in 2009? Why are we obsessed with this? You know, if you look at Guardiola and Man City, the guy developed the game, and it's so different. It's so different. Why are we trying to replicate the old football when we don't have the team to do that? We don't have the team to do that. Okay, and certainly we need to get a little luckier, guys. Imagine Victor Roque would have worked for us. Well, but you know, I think there's a lot of skepticism with Victor Roque, but if you look at the signings that Real Madrid made with Vinicius, for example, and Rodrigo, guys, these two players weren't performing for about a year and a half when they were signed. They weren't. Vinicius was playing with the Real Madrid B team. Why are we demolishing the mentality of a 18-year-old Brazilian player that just came here because Gavi was injured? It wasn't even planned for him to arrive. And suddenly, Gavi gets injured, and suddenly, you have a space in the team, come here, so you start adapting. And now we're demolishing him, we're criticizing him, we're criticizing Xavi. Guys, chill. Let the time pass. Victor Roque eventually will adapt or he will leave. I think we need to give the guy a chance. 18 years old. Remember, imagine you're 18 years old and you're famous as Victor Roque, and they're talking every time about you, and they're talking crap about you. How must you feel? When he goes on the pitch, this guy is not going to perform. His mind is somewhere else. Barcelona really kills players. We kill the players. Because of this, because of that, because the press, because the coach, because whatever. Because the fans. What are we doing? Start supporting, stop criticizing. This is what we must do. I look at smaller teams, guys. I look at smaller teams and they just support forever, man. No mercy, they just support. This is exactly what we should do. We're expecting Barcelona to win every single thing when we're demolishing our players mentally? No way. And don't get me wrong, I think that this team needs to be turned around in many ways. Don't get me wrong about that, okay? And I think that Laporta could have done a better job. And we'll see in the elections what's going to happen. I know it wasn't easy with all this Negreira shit that they were talking about us, you know? You know why they came out with the Negreira stuff? They came out with the Negreira stuff because they're the ones stealing every single time. They know they had to come up with a story so they protect their themselves. But the whole Europe knows. Don't worry. The whole of Europe knows. And then they talk Negreira. What are you talking about? Look at the games during the Negreira era. We were getting robbed left and right. Left and right. They talk about Negreira. Disgusting. But anyways, guys. Thank you so much for joining. It's always great. Let's do a quick Q&A. Come on. I see Walid. I see Waptrong. I see Ardalar. I see Ampomah. I see Vivi, I see Rubio Neri, I see MD Omer says, Alex, what is your opinion on Vitor Roque's situation? Well, I think I already talked enough about Vitor Roque. Vivi says, Ferran is underperforming 3 seasons and what he's not sold. I mean, you know why he's not sold? Because in the financial fair play situation, he's not giving us, well, we're still paying for Ferran Torres. We're still paying for Ferran Torres, that's the situation. Walid says, this team mentally is so bad, man. I agree. And you know what? I already said this in another video, is when I see Xavi talking to the players, I see a weak guy. I see somebody that's weak, that's not powerful, that's not inspiring. I see Arteta, I see Guardiola, I see Luis Enrique talking to the players, man. The intensity they bring, guys, the intensity, the power they bring is incredible. It's on another level. It really is on another level. They really transmit something to the players. They transmit the energy, the power, the desire, the motivation. And this is what I don't see in Xavi. I just don't see in Xavi. I see Xavi complaining all the time, complaining. Be a leader. Xavi needs a lot to learn. And he's not going to learn from me, but let me drop my grain of salt, you know. I see Walid says, Alex, we need Nico Williams ASAP and a pivot like Onana from Everton. He's really good. He is a little bit like Kanté. Well, I agree on Nico Williams. Nico Williams on one side, Lamine Yamal on the other would be explosive. Absolutely explosive. And if people are talking about selling Rafinha, I think would be a mistake. Rafinha is probably our most dangerous player this season. MD Omer says, how you rate Lewandowski's performance today? His build-up play was so good today. I mean, guys, how much are we paying Lewandowski? He has a salary that's increasing year by year. We're paying 20 million plus for this player. Don't you think that playing like Marguerite or something, we're saving tons of money? And we can invest in, for example, Nico Williams. I think it's easily replaceable, guys. Easily replaceable. Lewandowski, honestly, this is my honest opinion. This season has been a little bad for Lewandowski. If we look at price and performance ratio, it's been a disaster. A complete disaster, let me tell you. Because I look at other strikers. For example, you have Sorloth from Villarreal, scoring goals left and right now. You even have Budimir from Osasuna, man. This guy, until he got injured, he was scoring every game, 1 goal at least. Dude, Rafinha and Sorloth, Budimir, they earn 1/10 of what Lewandowski earns. Maybe not 1/10, but 1/3. You know, and maybe they don't sell as many T-shirts. But I don't think we're getting our money back from these T-shirts. You know. Anyways, Maestro says, Alex, great to see you. Do you think there is any chance that Xavi can lead this team to greatness? Well, I'm not so sure, guys. I hope and I expect Xavi to take it to the next level next season. But I don't see the path. I think that Gavi was such a loss, guys. Gavi was such a tremendous loss. It's dramatic. And the fact that we're not going to have him in the preseason, it's also dramatic. By the way, and let me tell you one thing. Many people criticize Oriol Romeu. But Oriol Romeu, if you looked at the stats from last season, if you had to replace Busquets, you had the best option was Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. Zubimendi was the best option, but it was costing us 60 million euros. The second option, very close to the stats of Zubimendi, very close, was Oriol Romeu, player from La Masia, costing 3.5 million. Last season, during the summer of last season, the last transfer market in the summer, of course Barcelona is going to go for Oriol Romeu. Cheap alternative, knows the home, you know, former La Masia player. Not going to pay 60 million for Zubimendi when the stats are nearly the same. The problem is that he came here, he had a great start of the season, but then he dropped the level dramatically. He got injured and he lost the confidence, he lost the mentality, he lost everything. It's unfortunate, it's really unlucky. But the stats were there and I can prove it. Okay? Therefore, it's not a bad signing. It was a great signing. In fact, quality price, it was amazing. Much better than Zubimendi in terms of quality price ratio, right? Because the stats were almost equal to Zubimendi. But we're unlucky, the player dropped himself. I see Ibrahima says, do you think that Xavi Simons can be a starter at Barça? I think that Xavi Simons can easily be a good team player, not a starter, you know. I think that having starters in the team is not good. Honestly, if we depend on this team all the time, if I look at the team all the time and it's always Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal, I'm getting depressed, guys. You know why? Because there's no competition. There's absolutely no competition for these players. What happens if one gets injured? Then we depend on Ferran Torres? And we're fucked. We really are. We need good substitutes. We really do need good substitutes. Okay? And Xavi Simons can be a tremendous player that can provide a lot of value, and he can play, he can play really good at many levels of the game. We need players like Xavi Simons or Dani Olmo in the team. Imagine you have Gavi, you have Pedri, Gundogan, almost retired guys. You have Frenkie, you have Xavi Simons, or you have Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo can play as an inside midfielder, or he can play in the wing, you know. Very nice, Dani Olmo. Xavi Simons, more of a midfielder, offensive midfielder. Rich Law says the stadium is chanting Xavi. Yes, keep on. Yes. The stadium is chanting Xavi, but there's a part also whistling the chant. Says Rich Law. Seymour says Xavi cannot adapt. That's why Barca needs a world manager. We have some top players. It's true. Seymour, we do have some top players. And the reason is, the question is, why is not Xavi taking the most of these players? Why can't we not get the best performance out of these players? Would Hansi Flick have fixed this? I don't think so. I absolutely don't think so. Because Hansi Flick has never played this kind of football. Never. And we're relying on one season wonder. Not an option. The best thing was to hold Xavi for one more year. And of course, give him some improvements in the summer transfer market. And I have doubts. And then get Arteta or Luis Enrique or Guardiola or Klopp at the end of next season, right? Because they're going to be free of a contract. We're going to have options here, and all these coaches are going to want to coach Barcelona, all of them. I'm sure. But I think that during this last winter transfer market, instead of bringing Vitor Roque, we should have tried signing somebody else. We should have tried reinforcing the team. No? Don't you think, guys? I mean, if we looked at the players, at the actual situation of the team, we needed a pivot or maybe another winger. No? Instead, we brought Vitor Roque, a center forward. It is true that we needed more goals, but the 18-year-old not adapted. I don't know. It's a little risky, no? We didn't reinforce the team. Instead, we made the promise. It's like, all right, we have this player. He will be a promised talent. Maybe it works out. Maybe we have to wait a year or 2 years for him to work. But we didn't reinforce the team in the short term, and that's what the winter transfer markets are for. That's a little flop from Laporta and company, no? We must be critics. Guys. I see TIBD says, why can't Barca be like Madrid, man? Madrid will have Mbappe, Vini, Jude, and way more. Well, guys, come on. Dude, Mbappe, dude, these guys are gonna die of success. Too many good players in that team. Too many good players in that team. I don't know. Another Galacticos 2.0. We have Lamine Yamal, cost zero. Walid says, Alex, we also need to give Hector Ford a real chance. He is really good. I agree with you. I think Hector Ford deserves to be there. I think Hector Ford, every time he has come on the pitch, he has performed. Why is he not getting chances? Why is Cancelo playing all the time when he's losing 100 possessions in a game? I don't know. Do we really want to keep Cancelo? I'm certain that maybe Joao Felix, we're not going to keep the player. Or maybe yes. What's your opinion, guys? What's your opinion? Keep Joao Felix or keep Cancelo? Keep both? Keep one? Let me know, because it would be interesting. Ibrahima says, where do you stand on Cancelo? He doesn't pass the ball for his teammate to score. That's my opinion. I think Cancelo is very unstable. Very, very unstable. I think that Cancelo can give you a couple good goals. He had a very good start of the season. Let's recognize that. But in this second half of the season, a disaster. For example, Araujo, the same thing. Araujo didn't deserve to play today because the last few games he's been underperforming greatly. And I'm a little worried because the fact that players like Cubarsí can get the ball up forward way better. I look at Araujo, this guy can't make a fucking pass. He can't make pass. He just can't. He's so good, a beast going into the cut. Okay? Dribbling, defense, like the defense of a dribble, for example, like a Vinicius attack and stuff like that. He's so good. Araujo is one of the best, probably in the world. But Barcelona needs a defender that can also defend forward. You know what I mean? I think Araujo is great defending backwards when you have to make a run backwards. Players like Cubarsí, instead, they defend forwards. And that's what I like about Cubarsí. That's what I like about him. But of course, a player like Cubarsí needs to be matched with somebody else that complements him, right? Because, or you know what? Maybe if you look at Man City, they have two really good defenders that defend forwards. They don't have one that's really good, only defending backwards. Important. I see all of you commented on the Joao Felix and Cancelo's thing. I see. Absolutely agree. Football Club Barcelona fan channel. Keep Felix, send Cancelo back. Felix is 24. What do you mean, Ruben, by that? Keep none. Useless. We don't get Xavi Simons. Then I try to get Felix for cheap. TIBD says, no man. They have a well-established team that will win the UCL and will win the league with 99 points, man. Let's not be deluded. We need to focus to be as good as the government team. I think you're making a reference on Real Madrid, right? Mike Aragon says, Cancelo reeks of bad decisions, sadly. Absolutely, I agree with you. Haruna says, keep Felix. Football Club Barcelona fan channel says, I would rather trust Ansu for one more year than keep Felix. If we can trust Xavi, why can't we have a bit more faith in a former La Masia gem? I absolutely agree with you, my friend. I think it's a great point. Ditch, what's his name? Joao Felix, bring back Ansu Fati. Careful, Joao Felix did some good games. Joao Felix gave us some good points. Against Atletico Madrid, he gave us the 6 points with his goals. Careful, it's a big statement too. It's a big statement. But I agree with you with the fact that we need to give more chances to La Masia players. Matthew says, Joao Cancelo has been making a lot of mistakes lately. Yes. Elias says, bring Nico Williams. Well, guys, we'll end it up here today. Thank you everybody for joining. It's always great. Make sure to smash the likes. I try to make it a little longer today. I was a little late because had to do some other stuff. But I see 120 people right now watching, only 41 likes. Come on, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. It's always great to have these little chats, these conversations. Subscribe, hit the bell notification. It's free, guys. And I'm here with you after every game. We're chatting, you know, and we'll do some collabs in the near future. Believe me, it's gonna be great. And we want to take this channel, this community to the next level. So guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Barcelona will keep thriving. Believe me, we will get out of the mud and we will be back to greatness. This season we didn't do too bad, guys. We reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We almost reached the semifinals, and we were battling La Liga. It's unfortunate. I know. No titles this season, no titles, but we were close, and we're getting back, baby. Believe me, we're getting back. If I look back 2 years ago, where were we? Europa League, my friend. Playing with Mingueza, Eric Garcia, Serginho Dest, and a recently promoted Araujo. I look back now, look back at my team, and I see a great team. I see a team that is solid. We have great players, of course. Xavi needs to fix a few things here and there, but we must trust. Keep believing, guys. Smash the likes as well. Thank you, everybody. Make sure to do that. And now, and as I always say, Visca el Barça, Visca Catalunya, and see you in the next video.